Stuff.
And with that, we are finally in the game. It took a while to get everyone in the lobby, but we're finally here. Talent League once again. And I'm once again joined by Puffo Bob. How you doing?
I'm doing quite fine. Thanks for asking. I've been having a hot day out here, but it's getting cooled down. So I'm hoping the players are gonna heat it up just a bit more. Bringing this session to an end. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game today. It's gonna be INF Esports or INF versus Coffein Esports. Do you have any experience with that, reprints?
Well, Coffein, an org that I know, they've been through a bunch of different rosters. They're a team that's not shy to just pick up anybody that they think might be promising and to just run with them for a while. They just, they give everybody an opportunity to maybe test themselves out. So, really lovely to see them back in Talent League once again. They're just, a consistency across T4. So, love to see them here. Not much information on INF, but I can say as we're moving into a BO1 format, it's going to be a quick stream, so I am happy for that, considering the temperature at least.
Yeah, same. I mean, oh, it's been getting heated up lately. But we don't want to waste too much time right now. We're a bit behind schedule, so let's actually take a look at the map bands. Today, we're going to be playing
Ooh, big drum roll.
big drum roll. Right there it is,
Excitement, excitement.
And
There it
it's
is.
Clubhouse. A personal favorite, but I don't know how Reprints feels about it.
I've seen the map a few times.
A few
Let's say it
times.
like that. Let's put it like that.
Okay, a few times, just a bit then and there, but at least it's not the worst we could have gotten. That's a positive side, but would have preferred something new, Night Haven, Bank, even Cafe, something like that. And I do believe that's it. I think all the players are ready. Uh, and yeah, so let's head into the game. Let's see what these players have to offer, and let's see what we can catch out of this game. Maybe a learning experience. But without further ado, Reverence, this is the ban part of the situation. What do you think is going to come out? What attackers do you think are going to be opted out?
I mean, surely a Dokubi. I've
Yeah.
seen her so much now. I feel like at some point there has to be somebody banning it out.
Oh,
All right, first ban's a Monty, understandable. Raftus takes, Dirt takes. There's a lot of places that you can put that shield and gain a lot of space for yourself. Rooney seemingly not happy about that one, getting taken out quite early. So no opportunity, but I mean that's what you got to live with. Every team gets a chance to ban.
yeah. So as of currently, we get the second ban, which is going to be Ying. So surprisingly, we don't actually get Dokubi. I mean, Ying and Monty, of course, reasonable bans. There's probably many reasons why. I mean, Ying is just an overall. When it comes down to the plan situation and the execute, she's going to be dominating. Same goes for Monty, but he's a bit, he's with his not so late buff. He's just an insanely strong drone, I guess you could call him. Overall useful, but still, Dokubi good. Was very viable. Next one's going to be Cade, which on this map, I mean, CC and Cash just completely breached Reliant. Jim also, in a way. And then you have the downstairs floor, which is basically Hatch Maiden. So, yeah, with that, I mean, Cade is a reasonable man. And to finish it off on defense, it is going to be Fenrir. Even after his nerf, he's still a very fearsome foe to go up against. He only has two instead of his three little gas mines to put around, or at least to have active at the same time. But that doesn't change how annoying and just frustrating it can be to go into a situation, a gunfight. You're ready, you're amped up. You want to shoot people. You want to get that KD up. But, oh, well, you can see now his purple smoke. So, you kind of die from that. But we're going into round one. We see Church and Arsenal. And yeah, what about your opinions on the bands? Do they seem casual? Anything out of place, reprints?
Absolutely nothing out of place. This is, I think, exactly what you would expect coming out of Clubhouse in the current meta. Once again, I was kind of hoping for a Dokubi ban. It
Yeah.
was more hoping than predicting, if anything, because the way this, the way the bans go usually now in Clubhouse, you have a Dokubi open, you have Demos open, you have Jackal open. You could even bring a lion if you really feel like it. There's just absolutely no potential to try and go for any sort of extended roam. You cannot commit to a roam position. Either you go for a shallow roam, you shoot a drone, fall back, or you just bunker from the get go. And so that seems a little boring in my book. And so the only other breakout option is to just look for a fight very early on before they get a chance to try and hunt you down and pin you into a corner. But other than that, I, you know, too much roam clearing on the board at the moment, and instead we're taking out a Ying. um, which is an execute based operator. You could deny them executing by roaming early on, but hey, I'm not a player. I'm just a stupid caster. Who am I to say?
Well, we're here to talk about what's happening and what's not, so let's get on with it. One thing I have noticed is that while we don't have a Cade, impact tricking is still a viable option. We see Azami and Goyo both having those secondary gadgets, so maybe that's going to come in play, but mostly the lineup we have currently of these operators is focused on just soft breach and vertical. We have the Ram, we have the Buck, we have even the Ash. The IQ to help out maybe with some pre-play C4s, maybe with Valkyrie cameras because she didn't get banned, which she also could have been, I think, a very viable ban, but she's still there, so IQ is a good way to go about it, maybe even a Pulse. But there comes the Impact. They're trying to take out the Ram, but unsuccessful with the first one. Now, they did give away a lot of map control. There hasn't been much roam presence from the defenders. INF isn't putting out much, they're playing it very safe. A very secure and turtle-ish strategy we're going with. We're going to see how that's going to work out because we still have a sense on Coffein side, and that's another execute operator you could very well have a good, just work around with.
All right, so I'm liking to see the Ash to just try and counter out the Mira. Very common interplay to see that nowadays because, of course, in case you're unaware, if you use that Ash charge and you put it right into the mirror window, it shatters the glass. You can no longer look through those mirror windows. Very important to bring that when it comes to the basement. But other than that, I mean, INF, yeah, as you said, Puffo, very, very passive. They're not going for any sort of extension whatsoever. They're banking on playing around and execute. And the Ying is banned out, which is gonna favor them. They also have a warden on the board for any potential flashbangs to come out. There's no smokes on the board. There's only one more flashbang on Rosal. So really, I don't see much value coming out of the warden anymore. A C4 comes out, almost connects. It does connect onto the first player over on the side of Coffein. And so this is going to get difficult going into the execute as all of Church is reinforced. Nothing's open. Trying to use that can opener to no success so far. Some of those sense gadgets finally rolling out. The question is that going to help as Rooney is able to find one, does get traded himself. There's a flurry of kills coming in from INF. They're able to find another Irmeli with one more, and there's the last kill as well. And INF, comfortable first round, deny that execute.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the Goyo or GNX or Zanku, however you want to refer to him as, right now being a very strong hold. I mean, the way he was just kind of peeking left and right from Army, he was just denying absolutely every push coming in, and he got the final blow. The Sens we also saw got a nice pick from himself. Rumi got himself one, but then just a double kill comes in out of nowhere, shutting him down on instant refrag. No mistakes are going to be left unnoticed. So INF or INF, just an overall dominating first defense. This is Church. This is a preferable role to be on. So let's see how they're going to actually end up continuing as we go on to Jim. Now, Jim, again, another side that's completely different from Church. This isn't necessarily hatch dependent. It isn't fully dependent on main breach. It's kind of, I would say, a little bit of a 50-50 between CDC and Church. So let's look at the lineup. We do see the newly improved, or I'll say reworked, recruit.
Dingus.
Dingus? What?
Dingus.
What do you mean Dingus? What?
It's Dingus.
It's Dingus?
Yes.
That's
Operation Wingus and Dingus. And here we have the defender. The new and reworked recruit. All they did to him was basically make him a full-blooded operator, which is very important because that means you get to pick him even in custom matches and in ranked. But never forget what they took from us. He lost some customization options and he gained different weapons. And so that rework, it comes with a cost. But at the very least, we will get some nice little uniforms for them. You know, in the coming seasons. I haven't seen anything special yet, but there's still a chance for these recruits to get something that looks very nice.
I don't know. I think I'm going to miss 5-stacking recruited with the boys, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That is definitely one of the major things that they took away from us. But one thing that was also taken away is the first play-in from Coffein's side. That's going to be Lumen with the first kill onto Shao's, and that's going to be the Ash of the board. Now we're looking at a man advantage, 5-4 for INF. Again, a very first start. You know, they got the opening pick. They got it also kind of early. It's, still 2 minutes to be had, and we're still looking at a very good situation for INF. Coffein is not doing too well, at least when not doing too great for themselves. There's also an announcement that we just received. There will be a tech pause after this round. Another thing that's going to be happening in this round is going to be Levi getting one kill onto Ikaro. Very good pick. Again, the doe could be out of the board. She hasn't even used all her gadgets, and look at how strong she is as an operator in general. So that's going to be quite a valuable asset. Coffin will be losing.
All right. Good start off for INF to try and close out the second round as well. These early leads quite important. More aggression coming out this time. On basement they fully turtled up, but here they did go out and look for some gunfights, and they're able to successfully find the right connections. Coffee, no trades so far whatsoever. Now finally a bit of a push coming in from Rooney. CC control has been gained. The problem is there's still a cash player lurking around Levy. He will have to be dealt with. And the question is, does Rooney commit to this? Because he's all alone over here. His teammates nowhere near him. He will have to try and isolate this fight. He might get an opportunity to do so, but the question is, can he win it? And no, he won't. Levy takes him down instead. 5v2 now. Man advantage keeps building for INF. And they will have a good opportunity to close this one out as well. Probably go to CC site next. But before I get ahead of myself, Kimba has an opportunity to move himself up main stairs. He's going for it. Rossi's able to find one. Kimba finds a second. Suddenly it gets turned around, but Lumen's there. He's there for one more. And now all they need to deal with is Rossi. And they should know where he is, as he does give away his position using some bullets. There's only 25 seconds left. There's a swing coming through from CC window. He has to be careful about that as well. And so a lot of pressure building onto him now. There's a lot for him to find. And a lot for him to lose as Santi does take him down. And INF off to an early lead, 2-0.
Ooh, what a fantastic finish with the Karatos in hand. But yeah, the one thing, right now we're gonna be going for a bit of a technical timeout just for a second. We're gonna be returning to our beautiful faces. You get to see us yet again before we actually end the match. That's when you're gonna be seeing us next time, hopefully. But the one thing I do want to mention, INF, I mean, they've been winning their gunfights. They've been doing extremely well. Not only did they go for instant refrags from the first round as we saw, but the second round, I mean, Levy was just absolutely dominating. Rooney came in, he pre-fired around the corner just to take out the thermite, and Rooney didn't expect it too well. So I'm saying INF right now, they're dominant, very dominant.
I mean, at the moment, I'm just looking for Coffein to find their way into the game, because at the moment it just doesn't look like they've, found any sort of pacing, found anything to work off of. And the moment that they can do that, they certainly have an opportunity to fight their way back in. I don't think that this is too late yet. It's 2 rounds. Something like this flips on a dime. This could still be a 4-2 half for Coffein, honestly. And that just comes down to, when do Coffein find into this game? It's a BO1, so they will have to do it soon. They don't have that much time. They got to do it, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that this game could still be a fairly even match, because I've seen some decent things out of Coffee, and I just haven't seen them be able to put it together quite yet.
Yeah, most definitely. Since exactly like you said, I mean, it's a BO1. It's all or nothing for them. They need to start adapting quick, because INF got themselves a 2-round head start, and those 2 rounds were exactly in a row, and they all kind of went in a similar way. They still have CC and Cash or Bar if they choose to so go right now to defend, and then we've made
I
a
doubt
full
it.
rotation. You doubt it? Hey, I'm hoping. We don't get to see Bar often, but it says maybe it actually just does happen. Just hoping. Maybe Siege Gods are hearing me out right now. Just like I'm hoping for that one Bosch G spawn peak that still hasn't come out yet. Come on, players, start getting to it.
Yeah, I've managed, since the time that you were gone, Puffo. I've had a cast with the lovely Sir Lamb Chop, and I was able to convert him to my camp of the absolute Boss G haters, because literally every time I see it on broadcast, they do nothing with it. They bring out the Boss G, they whiff their shots entirely, they die. Why do you bring this gun? Just bring the K1A. You're gonna do so much more in the round if you play Vigil with that gun. It's an assault rifle on defense. What more do you want?
I
And
remember this.
with that, I'm getting very heated about a random weapon in the game, but I mean, the way these guys are using it makes me quite angry. But with that, we're straight back into the game, as very quick tech issue resolved right away as INF versus Coffein resumes. And we're over to round 3, and with that also our third site, as the first 2 have been won by INF and locked away for a bit. And so now we will have to go to CC and Cash.
CC and Cash also has probably the most breach dependent side in basically all of the maps, I would argue. And with that, I mean, you kind of have to defend it. You open that breach as an attacker, and you get the entire site. You also get a hallway to the right, which leads to red, which also has a rotation to the other side. To the left, you have rafters, which connected to garage. I mean, that's a whole nother process to take care of. But that breach, I mean, it just helps out. It also cuts off immense rotation. Don't even get me started on that. So yeah, with that, I mean, we already see a bandit. We can see the Tubarao. Hopefully, the tricking will be on point, because I mean, if it won't, say goodbye to your site. Say goodbye to CC, because Cash will be alone and you're gonna have to defend it and CC through it. So with that, let's actually look a bit more at the lineups, because as we were speaking earlier of the non-banned Dokkaebi, she's been used for basically every single round. We also see the Deimos, who I'm just absolutely loving the 1v1 situation he puts out, and just in general, I mean, he's a good intel gatherer, kind of a bit of a different Jackal. But for overall, this looks completely normal. Although I'm wondering where these maestros are placed. Where do you think the maestro cameras are currently, reprints?
I definitely assume that there's going to be either one or two on site. Thinking more like toward two, and with having access to three master cams, I would put at least one into garage, if not two, because it's a good way of denying any sort of garage control. You can put it quite far away from the attackers so that they don't really get an opportunity to punch out the glass, or to even get an opportunity to maybe take those master cams with explosive util early on. So just a good spot to hide them away, make them important in the mid round. That's what my bet would be, but God knows where INF decided to put them.
God knows, but we don't. So let's see what we're going to be doing with here. I mean, we have a minute and 20 on the clock. It's still ticking down, and that's that maestro camera. Just as you mentioned, one on site, got rid of the drone this very instant it came into its vision. So, I mean, the attackers kind of gave up on breaching this CC side. So it's going to be a full push, kind of relating around construction, getting on the windows, all of that type of things. And I mean, they also have the Nomad, so flank shouldn't be too much of an issue, because, I mean, the only flank, unless you're using Oryx to jump hatches, is going to be main stairs. So this is going to be an all-out mayhem. INF, I mean, they're looking comfortable. They need to hold their angles. They need to win their gunfights, which they've been doing quite well. And just as we say, Armelli gets one 5v4 situation. Dokkaebi off the board. 40 seconds on the clock. They need to start pushing Armelli with a second. That's going to be Rose off the clock. A C4 team kill comes out. What is happening? Didn't expect that. Maybe it was a bit of jest. Maybe it was not. But with that, that's going to be Ash off the board. GNX gets one for himself. Goes back on the cameras instantly. He wants to be a bit of a cave dweller. Also wants to see where everyone is at. And with, I mean, Rooney and Kimba right now being kind of alone in the situation,
What?
that's a run out. GNX gets a second.
Luminous sitting outside. He's just on highway, enjoying his life. He was like, Irmeli, you got 2 kills. That is more than enough. I'm going to C4 you, and then I'm just going to spend the rest of the round outside the building. As Kimba does try to go for something, but he gets caught immediately in a trade. So, very, very good job for them to try and clear that out. But my goodness, the confidence from INF now, as that tech pause hasn't seemed to stop them, it seemed to have made them grow even stronger. As once again, we're back to our beautiful faces, because we just have to sort out some tech issues. I think more stream related than anything. We can't blame this one on the players.
Yeah, I mean, Bandit right now just chilling outside, taking a bit of a sunbathe. That C4 team kill, he sure felt proud of himself. No, definitely. I mean, these kills. Oh my god, the attackers, I don't know what Caffeine was doing, but it was definitely not according to their plan, at least. Unless their plan is to peek everyone, lose your gunfights, and let the enemies kill themselves with C4s, which I doubt. I very heavily doubt that was the thing, but I mean, they went for a push. They didn't open any breach. They put pressure from windows and one door, which I know it's going to sound really difficult to do, but all the defenders have to do is watch 2 angles. That's about as simple as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely, and it comes back to haunt the attackers, because there's not much to play off of. There's not much to do with that. Very one-dimensional take ends up costing them dearly, and they lose another round. And this is where it starts slipping away from them. I said, we're waiting on the opportunity for Coffein to get themselves in. I finally saw the Dokkaebi and the Deimos come out, but no big effect, as I think the roam wasn't all that present to begin with. So not much to deal with. Those operators, I think, falling by the wayside there. not really being able to expend their utility as well as they should. And with that, I mean, Coffein, you got to find into the game. I'm sure the tech issues are not helping them with trying to get warmed up. INF certainly seem to be enjoying them as they find more confidence, enough confidence to see for their own teammates. That's for sure. But still waiting on that opportunity for them, to show us a sign of life, so that this doesn't turn into a 6-0 half.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really great point. The fact that, I mean, INF is just sitting in sight. That's all they're doing. They're securing their strongholds, their garage, their red. They're, eating their cereals and eating their veggies. All they're doing, they're being nice inside, comfortable. Okay, so let's see. Caffeine, seeing as that how going, how they're turtling inside, let's bring a Deimos, a Dokkaebi, and even then a Nomad, just to watch out for flanks, which never ended up happening. So I'm not a genius, but that's definitely not the way to go about it. It also wastes a lot of things because, as an attacker, it would be way smarter to just focus on the breach as much as you can because while they do have a Tubber out and a Bandit, you still have ways to breach. You just need to perfectly time it. And, that's what teams are here for. You need the chemistry. You also need to take garage, but it's a lot better than pushing from a door and a window. It's way better than that. So maybe Coffee, we're having these timeouts. Maybe they're listening. Maybe they figured it out probably by themselves. And, they're going through it with their coach or whoever, or their IGL, whoever it may be. And we're going to be seeing a bit of a switch. But the 0-3 score is still there. So, INF definitely can't go on a minus before the roll swap.
Yeah, certainly they have at least tied this half. If they get one more, they win this half outright. That's very important to keep in mind. Once again, it's a BO1. You got to go to Clubhouse. It's a fundamentals map. Both of these teams should be good on this map, so they should both go for trades. But if Coffeen is not going to start entering that trade game on the round counter, they're just going to get knocked out of the game quite early on. And I'm kind of disappointed by that. Was hoping to see more out of them initially, and now I'm just I really want to see if they can put something together because I'm still waiting, still waiting.
Yeah, I mean, holy. Although, oh no, they may be trying their best, but they really need to adapt. Siege at the end of the day is really just a full on adaptation scene. You adapt to the enemies adapt to you, and then you just start stacking that one on top of another, and that's how the game goes through. If one doesn't adapt, they keep on losing their rounds, and they can say sayonara to the league. That's how we're going to be doing it today. And I mean, it would be I would get it maybe if they would be taking their time to really adapt if it was a BO3 or the grand finals like a BF5, but it's a BO1. You lose, you're out. It's as simple as it gets. I mean, there's nothing really about it. So yeah, I mean, we're still taking this time out. We're still they still have the time to talk. They really have the time. I mean, by this point, they could have probably went through a VOD and just checked out everything that went wrong.
Yeah, at this point they could have just, they have one person hopping out of the lobby, or maybe even if they have somebody, who might be in the call with them, who can just hop into that custom game,
Yeah.
just show them some C4 lineups, just teach them some little pocket strats for this map to bring it out now, because I mean right now is the opportunity. Very quickly, want to point out we do have both Nanos is our producer for today. Big shout out always to production, very important to mention them. And we do have Trippin observing because we couldn't find anyone else. And so Trippin stepped up massively. Loving that. The problem is we're just having an issue with the clean feed at the moment, so we're still trying to resolve that. So in case you're in here and you're confused why you're seeing us for so long, the game was going on. We just have a little break at the moment. And since we have a break, I mean, anything that we could talk about off topic, because there's really only 3 rounds for us to go off of for coffee. And is there anything else? I know you don't care about football, so I'm not even going to get us started on the Euros.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I guess we could promote the league for a bit. just kind of, since the beautiful director of Talent League, Trippin himself, is now doing a bit of the staff job for us. If any of you are interested in doing anything like it, observing, producing, casting, what are you waiting for? Honestly, what are you doing in the chat? Come and join us in the voice call. Maybe we'll talk about probably not football as long as I'm here, but we'll talk about something. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, although I don't know if this is because of football, but there's been cars going around my house with boom boxes or like speakers on the
definitely.
roof. Yeah,
Yeah.
I swear to God, I can't sleep.
Slovenia is in the playoffs. You will have to endure this. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
Dude, swear to God, man, I don't want to be part of this.
I mean,
Okay,
I'm not hearing much around my end yet because, well, we're Germany. We're expected to at least make it into playoffs. Um, like, come on, that's the least we can
yeah.
do. And I mean, this time around we have a decent team, so might start hearing chants around the outside of my house too when we start getting into more important game territory. But aside from football, I think for the talent league at the moment, I was very sad that we didn't get coverage for the qualifiers because I was looking forward to casting to see who would even make it in here to begin with. Because now I'm just kind of getting thrown into these matches, and like, yeah, I recognize the teams, but I haven't checked all of the lists yet. I'm there's like a few teams missing, I think, from my stat sheet. I don't know who else might be in Talent League. I know Coffein is now. I know INF is here. Um, but it might be interesting to know if there's anybody else that we could talk about.
I have no clue. I mean, currently, we're just waiting to to kind of get things sorted. I don't even know what's happening. All
Who
I
did we
know is,
cast earlier this week?
oh, okay. So a bit of news while we were chatting about everything else besides the match. We missed a bit of a round, so we can't really talk about that. But INF is on a 4-0 lead. So they've won basically 4 rounds in a row, and we're back. Technical difficulties, hopefully. I'm hoping have been resolved till the very end. If not, we'll do another one of these. But 4-0 is the score. And you know what, Reprints, we don't have much to talk about. Let's speculate. Let's speculate. It was downstairs. What do you think happened?
I think that you're not gonna believe this. All right,
Okay.
INF won the round.
What? Nah, no, I don't. No, I don't. Come on, look at the score.
By cleverly deducing the score, I have managed to figure out that it was not, in fact, Coffein that have won a round because, well, I mean, there's a donut up there.
Yeah, that you're definitely
So,
onto something.
I mean, this plays into my point again. I'm waiting for Coffein to wake up. I'm waiting for them to, drink their morning coffee, true to their name, and to start figuring out what they need to be doing right in order to win and bring a round across the line. And the problem is, right now, I'm not seeing that. And in the spirit of fair play, we might have missed that round, but I think it's better for the teams to go on without us for a bit, and we just quickly catch up with them as well, because don't want to have them sitting around just because we're having issues. So do like that at the very least these teams got to go on without us. We're straight back in now, and there's a banditry coming through. This is not getting any better for Coffein. You have to be, you cannot allow an exothermic charge to be tricked off of this wall. We've done this too many times. Guys, you need to put some pressure either on that hatch or in the form of a Flores drone or something like that. Santi gets the opening pick as well, and Levy just backs it up with another. Finally a trade from Rooney. The guns from Coffein come alive as well. But it's already an advantage for INF again, and you've lost an exothermic. What are you doing, Coffein?
Not only the exothermic, but the Thatcher and Dokkaebi, the basically 2 second most important operators besides the thermite, have been wiped out. So not only can you not go past the bandits unless you manually destroy them, you don't have info on any roamers or situations like this. But doesn't matter, Rooney gets a double kill. Well, it gets 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and that's going to be a double for him. Takes out the player in cash. Now they have a bit of control. Now they've started, going forward. Azami's still, Levy's still, putting up those barricades, not letting anything go through. Call him Bob the Builder or whatever you may. It's a 3v3. We have 1 minute on the clock. Not much pressure. There's still a lot of rotation going on between INF. They haven't cut off a lot of it since they haven't breached really anything. I mean, come on. Thatcher got taken out first, basically, and alongside with Dokkaebi, Thermite right now can't do anything. I mean, they're going to have to do a similar push. Go through 2 doors, maybe add a window if you're clever enough. But do you have the time for it? I mean, the droning is coming out. Even even the Tubarao is slowing them down on main stairs with his with his freeze grenades.
Due to a lack of competition, he just decided to use the soda canisters on the stairs to slow them down, because he clearly doesn't need them for the main wall, because that is not even being contested at this point by Coffein. Coffein do have control of connector, and they might be able to push themselves in from there, or construction rather, as a bit of a missed C4 gets picked back up, no problem, comes out now, doesn't connect onto anyone. Charles, in the meantime, able to find one, trying to go for a
Oh,
second. He finds a double kill for himself in the round, but with 8 seconds left, they just have to dispatch of the last remaining player. But that Tubarao is here, and he's willing to fight, and he brings out the pistol, and he gets a quick little clutch. And INF continue to hold on to their flawless performance as they now go up 5-0.
this did not just happen. I did not just see this. I mean, Coffein had a 1v3 situation having on. Main Stars gets taken out. That's going to be Buck off the board. And following him, I mean, the Ash didn't even see the bullets when they were sprayed at her. But what puts the cherry on the top, really, in my opinion, is that pistol. He whips it out. Call him McCree from Overwatch. It's high noon for him. If it isn't for anyone else, he doesn't care. He whipped it out. He took out the thermite. My goodness, that was just absolutely disgusting. As we're seeing it right here, there we go. Ash off the board. Thermite, 17 HP, boom, boom, boom. Even that, I think, counted as a headshot, but I'm not sure how Siege logic works. It could have been a shot in the foot for all I know, because, this game's hitbox is going to be all around. But INF 5-0. I mean, haven't changed much. Okay, actually, I'm going to refrain from using that anymore. They have changed. That was extremely close. But the one thing they didn't have was utility, because it got instantly killed, and breach, because they just instantly gave up on it because utility got instantly killed. They did manage to win the gunfights. But solely going off of gunfights when you can cut off so much rotation, put so much more pressure on them as an attacker, that's just basically kind of going for, putting it all on red and hoping that maybe you win the gamble. So, yeah, INF 5-1 is what they're going to be looking at least. And if it comes to 6-0, I don't think I'm going to be drinking any coffee for today, because this is making me just all around sad.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the Coffein right now not kicking in. We're still sleeping on the broadcast. Okay, Santi. All right. Opens it up once again. This is the opening pick for him. Second time in a row. He's been getting quite a few of these. And once again, it goes unpunished. There's no trade to come through. Early advantage for INF. And that's the Capitao down for the count. That means there's nobody to try and put those firebolts out to maybe clear out rafters, to maybe deal, with anybody in an entrenched position. And so this is just going to allow INF to run wild, to run free, and to just do whatever the hell they feel like. And now I'm starting to get concerned for Coffein if they're even playing at all. Because I was going to say, the moment they start playing, I think that this can be a decent matchup. I think that there can be some rounds for both teams, and then the better team will win. But Coffein still haven't started playing, and we're in round 6. This is a little late to start getting in the game. Coffein, if you want to do it, you better win this one right now to avoid match point. And there we go. Over-aggression from Santi, at the very least punished. But, guys, come on. It's already been 5 rounds for INF. Where's the opposition? You need some bite here, and there's still a bunch of Kiba barriers up in place for Irmeli to play around. They will have to try and clear that out as well. Minute and 15 still on the counter, and there is the diffuser in the hands of Rooney, who is currently on the breach. I don't know if he has access to some smoke grenades or if he brought flashbangs, but at the very least, there might be an opportunity to try and put something together, but no, once again, Lumen is there, takes down Rooney, another swing comes through, finally a trade, Kimba is able to get that one, clean it up. We have breach control, we have CC control gained again for Coffein, but they still haven't dealt with that Rafters player, and that is going to be so crucial going into this execute. Irmeli punishes as well. So that's a player on breach down once again. Shaws is able to go for a trade at the moment, just some scrappy fights coming out, some good trades between the two teams. Bit delayed, but they're there anyway, and Charles now has control of top red. This might be important to turn the round on its head, to just flip it. But at the moment, Kimba nowhere near him to try and double up. No good information on where the last 2 remaining players might be, as there's still a fight ensuing on that Rafters. And Lumen is able to find Charles, able to shut him out of the site. Now it's only down to Kimba. Kimba has 10 seconds. He's nowhere near the diffuser. He's nowhere near the site. He will have to walk through barbed wire. He has no Rafters control, no idea that the player has already left. He's going to try to walk up that staircase, and he's going to run out of time. And with that, INF up 6-0. It's match point already. We have had nothing from Coffein so far whatsoever. And now at the half switch, all it takes for INF is one little slip up, and they can close this game out.
Look, we have to give credit where it's due, okay? We can't say there's been necessarily nothing, but it sure as hell is close to it. At least, unlike the 6th round out of the other 5, they got the main breach on CC. Did they get rafters? No. They managed to get good trades though. They did refrag one after another, but mostly because of INF's greediness, because they kept on picking the main breach and they are very aggressive. So Coffein, they kind of dealt with it. They got some refrags, but at the end, they wasted too much time. The players weren't playing together. One of them was just kind of peeking rafters, hoping on his knees, praying hands emoji to kind of get that kill onto the Azami behind the barriers. The player with the diffuser, gets taken out. And with 10 seconds left, I mean, you're going to have to go through barbed wire, 2 players, get the diffuser. It's not basically, it is impossible. You're not doing that, at least in most situations, unless you're some sort of Bolo 2 V2. But yeah, I mean, Coffein, the only thing they've progressed in is getting to their objective, and I'm just talking about main breach, not actually setting up for an execute, and doing a bit of refragging and getting, the frag potential or the frag rounds a bit closer to each other. It was a bit of a 2v2, 3v3-ish situation going towards the end. But that's been only happening in the past 3 rounds, or even in the past 2, should I say. What about the first 4? I mean, that's what the problem is. It's adapting way too late, and the adaptation is just extremely slow, and it's not major. It'd be awesome if they take their time adapting, at least make it a major change. Make it a major adaptation. Make it so that once you're adapted, you are locked in. You know how these players play, you know what they're doing, and you know what you're doing. But, no, they're kind of taking slow steps, they're taking baby steps even. So with that, I mean, we're on to round 7. INF bringing out the Buck, the Ace, the Grim, Hibana going for hatches vertical as normally as you should on this site. And Coffein, I don't know if they got scared of these gunfights. I don't know what's happening. Ooh. Kimba sure isn't. I mean, he managed to get a nasty pre-fire, but they brought out a clash.
All right. At this point, I'm starting to wonder. I mean, good kill for Kimba to try and open this up to keep us in this match for a bit longer, but we're going to end up spending more time on the caster cams than we are watching this game. As we missed a round, it is 6-0 for INF. We've had some tech issues in the meantime. So you've basically been looking at us more than the game itself. And that's kind of sad for the side of Coffein. The fact that they haven't been able to put up a fight whatsoever. I do hear expert opinions, and they're telling me that Rooney is a one-trick Monty, and with Monty banned, that just means Coffein lose. That is an interesting take. It's an interesting thing to bring forward. I do like that approach, but it does seem like on the defense, there might be a bit more bite coming out of the Coffein players, as Kimba's able to find another. Rossi able to find another one as well. And suddenly, we have a 5v2. This might be the first actual chance for Coffein to win a round. At last, they will have entered the game. A bit late for my liking, but at the very least it won't be a 7-0 unless Lumen and Irmeli have something to say about this. But for now, it doesn't really look like they will get the opportunity to do so. 40 seconds. Lumen's taken quite a bit of damage. He will be given an opportunity to kill Rooney, so once again, Rooney does go down. But still a 2-to-1 man count advantage, as Coffein have 4 players standing. They have this clash in the corner to just be able to feed information to the remaining players, be able to waste even more time. And time is exactly the resource that INF at this point don't really have much left of. Execute comes through. Rossi shuts down Lumen, only down to Irmeli. He has finally opened up that castle barricade, but all he will be greeted with is a Vector. And Coffein, they're finally here. Puffo, What do you think about that? We have 2 teams on the server at this point.
I'm happy that they won the round. I'm happy it's not going to be a complete 7-0 wipe. I'm happy we have a UMP 45 enthusiast among us. But it's still 5 rounds to go. You're really relying on not messing up basically once. Because, I mean, INF has been taking care of any type of dent you've been leaving behind, Coffein, and, one little mistake could be quite fatal, and not only fatal, game/league losing. Because this BO1, I mean, okay, a very good round. Extremely well executed. They did well. I can't blame them. I mean, it's been fantastic all around. at least for the first defense round. But there's always a but. If there's not an if, there's a but. They still have 5 more rounds in a row. Keep that in mind. It's not a row. It's not like they win one. They get a bit of a break. They can go summer camping. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how much they need. I know how to count. It's a surprise for a siege caster, but I'm here. So 5 rounds in a row to win. That's insane. But I mean, not impossible. I haven't given up completely all hope. I've given up like 90% for them.
Beautiful, beautiful keeper barrier by Rossi. Very quickly, I think that one was way too high. That's not where you put that, by the way.
I thought
It's great that we got to see that.
I thought it was
Good to
tactical.
catch some people doing interesting sort of setups. Doesn't really pan out for him. That keeper barrier gonna go to waste. Just gonna sit over on that master bed. Not really much happening there. But I mean, hey, we might be, back in the SI24 meta of Clubhouse just randomly being extremely, extremely defender-sided. If you may remember the group stage, I think it was of SI24, for the T1 teams even, basically every Clubhouse game was 5-1 and 6-0 halves for the defense. And that meant losing 6 rounds on attack meant you would go to overtime. Basically guaranteed. You have to do nothing, and then you get to play defense finally. And then it basically just came down to whoever got to defend twice in OT, which was a bit weird. I don't know why, for that stretch in particular, Clubhouse was so defender-sided, because it changed up completely in the playoffs, and that may have been down to some better teams getting into the mix, and some other matchups coming out with some teams who are more capable of attacking, and maybe teams just finding their form, finding some counters. The Clubhouse for a moment was very defender-sided. We may see the same here, but for that I would need a few more rounds out of Coffein, and a few more confident rounds at that, to be able to confirm my trend.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they have been showing too much confidence, or at least too much improvement, but that one round they did, absolutely insane. I mean, the defenders were giving attackers no sound of silence. I mean, they were just absolutely wiping the floor with them. So INF, let's hope that tradition that you just mentioned, 6-0, and then it goes to overtime somehow. I really hope. I mean, okay, I won't say I hope it doesn't happen. It would be really interesting. It would be a new sight for me to see. But, it's still a low possibility. And right now, as it's going, INF, I mean, they're looking to be going towards that direction. They have cash, they have construction. I mean, that's cool and all, but they don't have the time for it. We still have someone on bottom main. It's a castle. It's Kimba again. The absolute UMP 45 monster. And with 40 seconds in the clock, I mean, we just kind of have to start. We're back at it here again. You see, we're back at these windows and doors only situations and pushes. And that's where we're kind of ending off. I mean, it seems like breaches have been done, but not the main breach. It's side breaches, as we see right here with soft breaches as Ash, as Buck, as getting into cash type breaches, but not the main breaches. And now it's 50 seconds left. I mean, oh my god, everything is coming out. Ash taking some smoke damage. The plant is going down in gym, and it's being secured. A 5v4 from JNX. Managed to get one. JNX with a double kill. Another from Santi. 2 trades coming out, and that's going to be Santi finishing the job, making it a Brazil, aka a 7-1 score with a very nice execute at the end. I mean, they went all out. Balls to the walls, dropped the hatch, and Logi went for a double kill. A nice protection from the window. I mean, while the ace was going for quite a safe pledge behind the whatever barbells equipment in the gym, there was someone protecting him from the window. Someone from construction. They were all just going in, slowly choking them out, and at the end, it's a 7-1 score. A very fast match. Coffee, not the greatest attempts, but that one defense round they had was pretty good.
Well, at least there was something to show for it, and as much as you don't want it, Puffo, Brazil, 7-1, we always rotate all the way back around to football, no matter if you want it or not. It's just what it comes back down to. And with that, I mean, very fast game. Like I said, we might be ending up spending more time in here on the caster cams, just talking about the game than we actually did spending time in the game. We did miss a round, which was very unfortunate, but I don't think we missed much because it was more of the same. It was more of INF is able to defend and Coffein is not waking up on the attack in time to do anything. Once they got the defense, they were able to get away with one, but after that, INF just slowed it down very heavily. They completely changed up what they were doing, took no early gunfights, and just decided to execute in a 5v5 with like 10 seconds left. We're able to just about bring it over the board. That diffuser plant going down the first time around, I was worried because there wasn't a whole lot of time to try and recover it. But ultimately, with the flurry of kills that came in, it was good enough. They won off of kills more than anything because they collapsed onto a site that had every single remaining defending player in it, which was all five of them. There was no spread whatsoever. All the map control was taken away from Coffein, and they didn't put up enough of a fight to try and hold on to it just a bit longer. And with that, very fast game, very fast stream. That's already it because sadly, we only had one game scheduled for today. The other one got rescheduled. And so we'll have to make do with just this one Coffee and INF game. And it's INF all day long.
I mean, I was expecting more, but a lot better than a draining double BO3. I'll say that the least. And I mean, it was a good match. It was kind of fun to watch, but I felt like INF just absolutely outruled them. And I mean, besides that, we don't have much else to talk about. I think this is going to be finished. I mean, this is going to be the first time where I actually feel like you guys saw more of me and Reprince's face than the actual match, which you should be thankful for. It's a blessing. Come on, you can't say you don't love it. But I mean, with that, Reprince, I think it's our time to say goodbye. Thank you for Trippin and all of you for coming along. Thank you to Nanos for producing and doing his awesome job. So yeah, with that, it was a great match. It was fun seeing Clubhouse again, but it was quick. It was quick for sure. And with that, we're gonna give you a quick goodbye. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again next time on Talent.